Hello everyone and welcome back to the Adventures in Collecting YouTube channel, where we take a closer look at the toys we talk about on the show. And today we are taking a closer look at one I am very excited for. We're taking a look at the Marvel Legends Into the Spider-Verse Miles Morales. Real quick, before we dive in and take a closer look at the actual figure itself, let's take a quick look at the packaging. We have the really cool Spider-Verse Into the Spider-Verse logo there on the front. You know, the name Miles Morales, of course. For those of you that are mint on card, you have some really fantastic art here. You know, Jerry continuing to do an incredible job with these. It looks fantastic. You get the nice little description there of Miles on the back. If you wanted to pause it and read it, you could. And then, of course, you know, the nice big window where you can see Miles and all the pieces. So with that, let's flip the camera around. Let's take a closer look at Miles Morales.
When do I know I'm Spider-Man?
All right, and here we go. We have our Marvel Legends Into the Spider-Verse Miles Morales here, and this figure is just gorgeous. It is a gorgeous figure. So let's hop right into the paint and detail here. Let's not waste any time. As you can see, I have swapped on the masked head here. We'll put the Miles head back on in a moment, but the webbing is all you know, it's all sculpted in, which is fantastic. Absolutely love that. You know, there's actually a sheen to the paint that they used for the eyes there. The jacket is two pieces that are individually cast here, and then they're attached at the hood. So the hood is glued onto the back piece here. That detailing goes straight through, you know, into the torso and the chest, you know, all of the sculpting. He's got a pocket sculpted on here. I love that the hoodie underneath the jacket doesn't sit quite evenly, so you can see it pokes out, you know, at different lengths on the side. You know, the wrinkles in his sleeves, everything is all there. Moving down into the below the waist, you can see that he has his belt. Again, it's not perfectly sculpted. It's a little askew, which is awesome. There's great detail throughout the shorts, you know, the seams, the pockets, everything is there. All of that sculpting that was awesome up top continues down into the legs. Below the actual short line here, you know, we have, you know, a regular matte finished leg, and then starting at the calf, we get that sculpting back. And then we have our fake Hasbro Jordans on, which is fantastic. In terms of other things that you get in the box with Miles. So with Miles, you get, of course, the additional head, which is an incredible likeness there. They really, you know, it benefits from, you know, having that digital file here. You can see there's a little bit of a mark on the forehead. All of the Miles figures that I saw in store had that visible mark. So I don't know if it's a little bit of a paint defect or something with the printing, or if it's supposed to be kind of like a furrowed brow, but it was present in all of the Miles that I saw. And then, of course, you get the Stiltman Build-A-Figure piece, so you get his kind of back harness here with Miles. And then you get two additional hands. So you get an additional flip hand, and you get an additional fist. So to go into the articulation, I'm going to pop off our head here. And as you can see, the first thing that's kind of interesting about this figure, because of the way that it is sculpted with the elongated neck, the head actually has an attached peg. So the peg is, instead of being in the neck, is in the head. It reconnects very easily, you know, no problems whatsoever. You know, and you know, because you get that double peg, you get an insane amount of movement there from Miles's head. So, you know, twisting left and right all the way, he could look up all the way, look down, basically rest his chin on his chest, which is awesome. This figure does not have butterfly joints, but that's not to say that the ball joints that they gave don't have an incredible amount of movement to them. As you can see, you can get his arms, you know, back pretty far. We don't have double jointed elbows, but again, the sculpting there on these pinless elbows you can get well beyond the 90-degree angle with them, which is fantastic. And then at that elbow point, you also do have rotation. Moving down the arm, of course, you get the rotation at the wrists and the pivot. In the torso, you do have a waist swivel. You have a ball there at the waist, so you get waist movement. You can see that's him all the way back, it's him all the way forward. And then on top of that, you do also have an ab crunch. So, I mean, he can bend ridiculously far forward and ridiculously far back, even with the jacket there. So, you know, you get quite a bit of bending from him. The one thing that would have been really cool with this figure before we leave the torso, I think, because they did all this fantastic work here on the actual torso, would be kind of like how they do in the Mattel Ultimates. Would have been awesome to include a separate set of arms without the jacket. I know it still would have left you with the shorts, which isn't necessarily film accurate, but you know, a second set of arms would have been awesome in here, so that way you could just slide the jacket off, put the new arms on, and have you know, more of a costumed look. But that's just me. The legs, we don't have the drop down hips we've been seeing, but you can get a substantial amount of split out of him. You know, and you know, to a degree, you know, a pretty high kick forward, and then, you know, pretty high kick back without much swivel there. Moving down, we do have a pinless double jointed knee. Even with those baggy shorts, we can still get pretty far back on it. And again, they are pinless, so you could see the figure is very slight. You know, he has a very slight figure to him, which you know, is accurate. Now, my one leg joint is a little wobbly. You could see it there. So far, it has not hindered in any of the early posing or anything that I've done, but, you know, just something of note. I do feel like that is looser than it's supposed to be. And then, of course, you do have the pivot at the ankle there. So you can see how it looks next to Retro Spidey. Retro Spidey is a little bit taller, which makes sense. And here he is next to the movie Venom Marvel Legends figure. That is quite a trio there, if you ask me. This Miles figure is really cool. Very happy with the way that it came out. Cannot wait to take some additional photos with him. Let's flip it back around and let's wrap this up. All right, so what else can we say here about Miles? This figure is literally a week shy of having been on my top 10 list for 2020. The good news is I can safely say that I am saving this one for the 2021 list already. No, this is a fantastic figure. You know, as you saw, all the detail is fantastic, minus a couple of things that would have been nice to have along with it. You know, this is just wonderful. It is a wonderful figure. It looks so much like the Miles from the movie. I cannot wait to take some legit photos of this figure. I just keep noodling around with it while I'm talking here. It is absolutely fantastic. Well done to the team in Hasbro. You really captured the Into the Spider-Verse Miles. I cannot wait to get Peter B and to get Gwen, you know, to take a look at those as well. So this is an easy 2 thumbs up for me. As always, make sure you hit that subscribe button down there so that way you don't miss videos like this and us going into more detail on the toys that we love. And then while you're subscribing, make sure you hit that bell icon too while you're down there. That way you get notified when we post new videos and you don't miss fun stuff like this. While you're subscribing things, make sure that you follow us here at AIC_podcast on Instagram and Twitter, where we're constantly posting toy news, sharing toy photography, showing awesome toy displays, you know, anything around the toy community that we think is interesting and that you should know about. And then, of course, where it all started, here, the podcast Adventures in Collecting. You can find us where all podcasts are found. Simply search for Adventures in Collecting, and or hit that link below. And as always, stick around for after the fade. We'll take some additional pictures of Miles here, and until next time.